because we're all friends here, I'm telling you, this happened when I was 19 years old. And I was just getting out of this craziness. And I thought the best way to do it would be to move to the other side of the planet, to Japan, which I did when I was 19. I got a phone call. Literally, if you had put a gun to my head, I would not have known what my phone number was. But it was somebody saying, we understand you're in town for the church meeting with Herbert W. Armstrong. We'll have a meeting right down the street from you. They're telling me this in my little apartment in Japan. I acted as if the phone was broken. I hung that up, and that never happened again. But I got there, and I was 19 years old. I'd never been in Japan before. I didn't speak a word. And I was in a small town, and I had to go get some groceries. And where I was, they had seen very, very few foreigners. 0 black folk. 0. So I'm pushing my little cart through the rural little grocery store. No idea what anything is. Just put it in there. And I've got a fan club of about 6 to 10 elderly Japanese women. Looking at it, putting stuff. Stop it. So I'm just putting stuff in, and I get this box of crackers and I throw it in there. And this lady, she started screaming, "Wawan! Wawan!" All right, crazy lady, I'm out. I had enough. I go and I give them the little funny money or whatever, and they give me something back. I don't even know what it is. I take it back to my crib, and I'm unloading the groceries, and there's a knock on the door. This woman comes in my house. It's one of these elderly ladies from the grocery store. Comes in my house, starts digging through my groceries, and she takes out my bag of crackers. It's like, "Waman! Waman!" And then she starts pointing at it, and I see a picture of a little doggy. Oh, bow wow. Oh, right on. Good looking out. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. So she takes off, and she comes back the next day. This time she's got a dictionary. And she's like, "You have to learn the soul of Japan." All right? What's that? And she says, "It's in the tea." Uh-huh. And you don't touch people in Japan. You don't touch anybody. So she takes me by my shirt down the street to her beautiful home, where she says she's going to teach me about tea. And I knew that if I did go into her house, it was going to be trouble. I knew this. But what'd I go over there for anyway? Right? So I went in, and now it's her world. You got to sit down just right on the ground, 2 hours at a time, just like this, legs screaming. And she said, "Look at here." Well, she didn't say "look at here." She said, she brought out this cup and with some tea in it. So I went to go drink. Dummy! Drink the tea? No. You don't just drink tea. First you have to turn the cup. You gotta put a little powder in it first. You have to stir it up a little bit. You have to smell it. You have to turn it again. You have to look around. You have to use some archaic, old school Shakespearean style Japanese, and then, only then, are you allowed to maybe sip. Okay. And I went there. She had me there 4 times a week. Hours at a stretch. "Dame, Glynn-san. Bakayero. Glynn, you're such a dumbass. why don't you get this right? And again, it was the stir, the turn, the pour, the lift, the look, the language, the smell. Finally, I couldn't get it right. You know, I'm trying to do my thing, but you don't do your thing in Japan. Turn it, lift, sit. And we did this. And she said, look, the soul of Japan comes through other arts as well. And she taught me ikebana, which is flower arranging. And she was teaching me kendo and just all kinds of stuff. She's like, it's like she had this mission that I was gonna get this before I left. And my year went quickly, very, very quickly. And finally, it's time for me to go. Going back home to Michigan from whence I'm from. That's right. And the cab pulled out in front of my house. And she came to say goodbye. And then she bowed to me. Hell no. She's been my teacher. I bowed more deeply to her. She pulls it down a notch right here. And finally, I go all the way back down again. And she accepted that, and I said, look at here. I have been as Japanese as I can be. I am not Japanese. So now I have to give you a great big old American hug. And she said, no! And she ran top speed down the street. But I'm faster than she is and stronger. And I caught her. And she screamed and she laughed. And I told her I was never gonna forget what she taught me. And I told her as well, I would never, ever, ever drink coffee. But that I would always drink tea. My main man, Mr. Alex Mandel.